People back for number 5 BREWDOG Advent Calendar. I am excited to get it tonight. Well, I've already had 2 beers when on the stream, so I'm ready to get in the third one. Those excuse me, one of those beers was from the Beer Advent Calendar, which if you haven't been watching over on my second channel, I think you should go and check out. That beer was a West Coast IPA. I can't remember what it was called, to be honest with you, but it was super fruity and it was actually really nice. I actually enjoyed that. So the sooner that we can get into this BrewDog Advent Calendar, fucking couldn't even finish my own words then. Advent calendar opening, the better. But of course, first off, we have to roll up the joint. So we're getting into that right now. Tonight we have something a little bit different. I've got a little bit of peach rings in my grinder. Not enough to make a joint out of, so we're going to be adding a little bit of dog to that, but it's going to be a mixture of some peach rings and some dog. Feel happy, made me feel a little bit giggly, a little bit silly, to be honest. I actually really enjoy it. So it'll be interesting how it makes me mix with dog. So it was, well, I mean, I don't know if you can call it the morning. I think it was probably around like 11:30, closer to 12, so around midday-ish that I smoked it. And different, and in the grinder just to bulk it out a little bit. So throwing the roach in my mouth. Obviously, I can't talk with a roach in my mouth, so just give me 1 second. Didn't show the dog that I put there because it was just craps. Honestly, I went over here and I picked off all the little sugar leaves and I out all the little tiny popcorn nugs, and those were just on my desk there. So grinding up those little nugs into this with the peach rings, hoping that will taste really good. The peach rings, to me, we got it yesterday, but we didn't smoke it until today. So this morning, to me, it smells perfume, but I remember what it was like because it was through a bong and I got stickers on my head, so the best taste way, but it's really perfume. Looks look alright, but the like I don't really know how to describe it other than perfume. Like, it doesn't really smell like peach to me. It just smells very perfumey. But getting into rolling the joint now, and obviously my concentration is very, very bad. Can't do 2 ones. I'm gonna say, and my concentration is very, very bad. Can't do 2 ones. I'm gonna say, and through the joint, if I'm a grinder, than initially thought. The paper is starting to sag down a little bit. This joint might be a little bigger than I intended it to be, but that's fine. We work with what we've got. I did think about rolling up the, well, I say rolling up. I did think about stuffing the king palm for this stream, but I'm not really in the mood for that. I felt like rolling a joint, so that's what we're on right now. But we'll get into this once it's nice and rolled up. Take a few hits off it, see if we get any more people in here, and then we will open up the calendar. For the last couple of days, we've had a couple of light beers, so it'd be nice to have a dark one. But I've been enjoying the light ones. They're like fruity and refreshing most of the time. And it's nice to have that, even in December. Especially because, like, it went from being minus fucking 5 degrees to being back up to 6 degrees. So it feels like it's just jumped up loads. And now it feels like really warm outside for some reason. Oh, that tuck was bad. You know when you're rolling a joint and the initial tuck is just bad and you think the joint's going to turn out terribly from that point on? have faith. It might not be as bad as we think it is. But in case you didn't catch it earlier, we are smoking on a little bit of peach rings mixed with some Stardog. Drop what you're smoking on in the chat. I always like to know. And if you're going to be drinking along, drop what you're drinking on in the chat as well. This joint just doesn't feel good. Like, you can tell when you've rolled a good joint. This one does not feel good. I put a lot more in, well, not a lot, but a bit more in there than I initially expected. I'm not good at rolling big joints. I've never said that I'm good at rolling big joints, but I own it. I'm just not. I can roll well, probably up to a gram, but any more than that and it gets a little bit difficult for me. I suppose it all depends on the quality of your roach. I'm not good at making big roaches. And I also don't know where my stuffer is. I keep going to grab my King Palm stuffer. But the fuck if I know where I've put it, honestly. So we might not have that today. Is that it? Yes, it was in my ashtray for some reason. I don't know why it was in my ashtray, but I'm glad that I found it. Right, so we are like 99% there with the joint. And as soon as the joint is sparked, well, not quite as soon, we'll take a few hits and then we'll see where we are with the chat and we'll get into the beer. I'm really excited for this beer. I had a proper brain fart on live last night and I could not remember what beer number 3 was. I think it was definitely beer number 3. I remember now, it was Shore Leave. I didn't look back at the video, but I remembered. I have no idea why I couldn't remember. It must just be like a really forgettable beer. Right, boom. Here we have the joint. Doesn't look terrible. It's not my best work, but it's definitely not my worst. And it's a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. Now, I definitely put the lighter in front of me so that I wouldn't be looking for it. Make sure that you are all rolled up, got your bowls packed, got your blunts rolled, got your joints rolled, whatever you want to smoke on tonight, get your dabs heated up. Cheers. I don't know if anybody has been watching the advent calendar openings, but I've been reviewing a few joint papers over there. And you can just tell, you probably didn't notice there, but with the raws, this is a raw that I just rolled up. The little bit of excess paper just literally like burnt away. There is no ash or anything, no residue. And some of the others that I've been rolling up have had like a shitload of paper and ash come off there. It's just terrible for you, bro. I never show the lighting of my joints in the videos, but you know what? Fuck it, here we go. One VBN, what is that? One Vibin? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to say your name, bro. Rolling up some OG Kush, 9 out of 10. Nice roll. Is that the 9 out of 10 for the OG Kush or 9 out of 10 for the roll? Because I don't think the roll is a 9 out of 10. Hopefully your bud is a 9 out of 10. That'd be very nice. Dawson Reed. Cheers, bro. Yeah, ever tried back rolling? I have, but I'll admit I'm not good at it. I made a video like I think it was about 2 years ago now that said it was my first ever back roll. I did it on a video. I don't roll the biggest joints, but I also don't roll the skinniest joints, so I don't really need to back roll, honestly. Also, it's a bit of a faff. I'd rather just roll a normal joint. Just a keyboard smash. 9 out of 10 for the roll, but the bud is at 8. I mean, 8 out of 10 is passable. I have got at the minute, I don't know if you were here for the beginning of the video, but I've got some peach rings that I had in my grinder. That's not my bud, so it's not something that I'm smoking on consistently. I've got some Stardog, which is obviously, we all know how we feel about Stardog, but this is actually pretty nice. I posted it on my Instagram, so over there, if you want to go look at it, it's at Sidekick Knives. Maybe a little bit later, I'll get the bud out. It's decent for dog. It looks really nice. It's purpley, like it's. We were discussing it last night on the live. It looks almost like blue in some places. Like it's really pretty buds. And I wouldn't usually go for Stardog, but I couldn't resist. It looks so nice. And also, I find when I'm smoking it, it doesn't make me too high. Like it doesn't make me feel incapacitated. It makes me feel chill, and I can do exactly what I need to do. Granted, the high doesn't last very long for me, in particular with Stardog, which is why I don't tend to get it. But it's nice for what it is. Mixed in with the peach rings, the peach rings taste like perfume. I don't know if it's a flavor that I like. I never got to try dog, so I never understand the hate and the love that it gets. Where are you from, dude? Are you in the UK? Because if you're in the UK and you've never tried dog, like what? Where have you been? I'm not even like. I need to get my ashtray. It's all the way over there. Also, if you haven't watched today's advent calendar opening, I rolled up a Rips hemp wrap and I took a few hits off it, and it's literally still here in my ashtray. That's what this is. It was fucking vile. I don't want to smoke it. I'm gonna unroll it and I'm gonna put it in a bong at some point. But don't ever get the Rips wraps. They are not good. But yeah, Dawson Reed, tell me where you're from. Like, if you're not in the UK, it's understandable. But if you are in the UK, how have you never had Stardog? It's like a staple. It's dog or haze. I'm quite lucky. Like my one, well, I say friend. I don't really speak to him very often, but he's a dude who's put me on to two different dealers on two separate occasions, and both of them have been really good. The guy that I'm with now has got not always an extensive menu, but he's got like a couple different strains all times. Obviously, he has the staples, Stardog. Usually, it used to be Cookie Dog, which I miss because I prefer Cookie Dog over Stardog every single time. But it's been Stardog recently. That and usually Lemon Haze, which I also don't mind. Don't mind a bit of lemon haze. It's not my favorite, but if it's there and it's nice, it's always cheap and it's always cheerful. So it's not a bad thing. But he tends to have quite a lot of different, well, not quite a lot, a couple different strains at one time. He has like, I don't know if it's real, I don't buy it, but he has like the Cali strains and the packs and shit like that. But it's silly money, so I never usually bother with that. All the UK that he has is good. I've never really had a bad strain off of him. From the States, if I'm correct, which I don't know if I am, so don't take my word as law. Stardog came over from the States, and like in the UK, it was a premium strain for a bit, and like people were proper into it and they loved it. And I think that's why it became so popular, because people started growing it and growing it and growing it. And again, I don't know. I'm just going on what I think I've heard. So don't take my word as law. But I'm sure like people found seeds and then they started growing it, and apparently it was like quite easy to grow. So they kept on it, and now it's just like a staple over here, and everybody's got dog. If you're buying some weed off the street and they don't give you a strain name, your chances are it's either Stardog or probably Stardog. Whereabouts in the state? People on here. Um, there's a dude who's quite consistent on commenting on videos and coming in streams. He is from the States, and he tells me, I ask him every single time where he's from, and every single time he tells me, and every single time I forget. But we got a couple of people from the States that come into the stream and watch the videos sometimes, which is super dope. Like, I don't know how or like why people from the States watch my videos and interact with me. I don't know how different the culture is. I know it's quite different, but like on a person to person basis, like I don't know how different it is. Like the only thing that I have to go off usually is celebrities and stuff like and YouTubers, which different category, but you only know what you see from other. Don't know how the lifestyle really is that different. I just chat shit all the time, but we've been here for 15 minutes. Flick the charger on, or else we're not going to be here for much longer. Okay, we're fully charging, so it's okay now. I'm going to open the advent calendar. Otherwise, I'll just keep talking and not ever get into it. We are halfway down the joint. It's not burning. Like I said, dogs. This looked really super nice. It looks amazing, but it's not very great. I'm not very happy about that. Sometimes you just got to take the L. Today, day number 4 of the advent calendar is right here. Door number. Move the mic out of the way. I'm sorry if this sounds like trash. Door number 5 is right here. So we're going to open it up right now. This is really pissing me off if you can't see, but the advent calendar collapsing itself off the doors or other slots that I'm not supposed to be in. Anyway. All right. Okay, so move this back over here. Again, sorry if it sounds like ass. Today we have Black Heart Draft Stout. I like this. I tried for the first time in. I can't remember when the first time I tried, but it's very nice. And I had a pint of it in BrewDog Bar in Manchester. And again, it did not disappoint. So we are okay. Right now, I thought. Sorry. It's a nice beer. I haven't reviewed it on my other channel yet, and I just punched the microphone. I'm sorry about that again. This glass does not hold 440ml cans, and with the Black Heart, you've got to pour it straight down like a draft can of Guinness, or else, like, I don't know how it would be. So I'm not quite sure how we're gonna do it, and I'm gonna not do it over my laptop in case it like over. So just bear with for a second. I'm gonna move out of the way after the tin crack. I like that, even if nobody else. Right, I'm gonna attempt to pour this. Oh shit. I don't think you could see the first half of that because my depth perception was off, but here it is. There's still a little bit in the can. I tried to do it to the best of my ability. I'm sorry for all the stout drinkers. Wait, bro. I've just noticed something on this glass that wasn't there before. What the fuck? It says BREWDOG down here. I can faintly see it. It says dog. You can't see that on the light. I'm sure you can see that on the light. Either that or I'm an absolute idiot. I can see that on the light being weird. No, I am being weird. You can see that on the light beers. Wow, don't I look like an idiot? I am so fucking stoned, bro. Cheers, guys. Ignore everything I just said. Like I said when I started the stream, I had a couple of beers and I was also a little bit stoned before this. And I look an idiot now. So it's fun. It's a fun time. Dawson Ree said, the time you upload and stream when I get off work and smoke, so I love watching how you smoke. That's sick. What time is it where you are, if you don't mind me asking? Over here, like I said before, we stream at 9 p.m. or like 8:45 or something like that. But currently it is 21 minutes past 9, so 9:20 p.m. Just interested to know what time it is and also which state, if you don't mind us asking. We've got the joint sparked back up now. I forgot to go over the can, so that's what we're going to do now. I actually think this can is really nice looking. I like the black and gold. I think it looks quite premium. On the side there, BrewDog in gold is 4.1 volume, black up for 40 milliliters, and then on this side there's 21st century stout. Details there on the back. I'm not going to go through. I don't know. The black and gold looks really nice. It worked. Makes it look premium. If you've ever had Guinness, which I don't know if people have or haven't, I'm going to burp. If you've ever had Guinness, that's super creamy and not much, well, say not much body, but that, and like it's not carbonated, if at all, really, just a tiny little bit. I feel like I just got a tiny bit more carbonation. If I don't, I'm gonna break this fucking glass. It's so slim. Like the glass is so thin that like I'm too heavy-handed with it. I keep putting it down super hard. But to me, it's not overpowering. It's got nice soul coffee flavors. It's quite creamy, but it's got a little bit of carbonation. It's just better than Guinness. I don't know how to put it other than that. It just is. 3:22 p.m. for Dawson. Not from a legal state, but 20 minutes from a dispensary, and got a good street plug. Yeah, that's very sick. I think as long, well, I mean, I don't know how it works in the States with like legalization and still getting from plug. Is that a thing that happens with legal states? So if you're not in one, you might, but that's just people from legal still buy off the plug. Because I assume dispensary bud is more expensive than street bud, or maybe I'm talking out my ass. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking because it's the opposite over here. Like I say dispensary bud, like the legal bud over here is more expensive. It's more expensive. I'm thinking of like talking about 160 an ounce of that street bud for me, and for medical, it's between £5 and £10 a gram, depending on what strains you want, what quality you want, which I don't know how to put it, which grower I guess you want. I don't know if it varies between clinic and pharmacy and stuff because I haven't had a prescription for a while, but I do intend on getting back on it. But I said on a stream either last night or a couple of days ago, the quality is just for medical and it's unreliable. The medical scene just at the minute in the UK, it feels like it's not for the patient. It just feels like it's all money and they don't seem to know what they're talking about, these doctors who are supposed to be prescribing you the cannabis. It feels like the patient knows more than the doctor at this point, and I don't feel like that's what you want when you go in to a doctor. If I walked in to my doctors and said to them, I'm having an issue, and I knew more about it than they did medically, that'd be kind of like weird for me, I guess. I want my doctor to advise me. I don't want me to advise my doctor. I don't know if that makes sense, but just at the minute, plus of the bud. Granted, I haven't had prescription for a while, over a year. It was pretty shit. I've got video at the back on the history of my channel. I did strain reviews for all of my medical bud, and none of it was great. Black market weed is always going to be better than regulated government weed here. 11 out of 10 for deals and support local. For edibles, you only get grams per gummy. Usually that's the limit. Black market, you can get way more, plus bud's way better. Yeah, edibles for me personally, don't buy edibles because I can't trust the edibles. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know how much or what is in it. So I never buy edibles. Also, I've found that edibles just like aren't good for me. When I smoke, like this is probably a me issue, and I know that it is, but it doesn't work for me even after an hour or two. Like I just don't feel where I need to be unless I smoke it. It doesn't work for me even after an hour or two. Like I just don't feel where I need to be unless I smoke it. And it's probably is a me issue. Like when I had a tolerance break for a month and I ate half cookie, I felt high, but I didn't realize I was high until I was laughing at stupid shit. And that felt great. But I feel like I personally need to have a really low tolerance for edibles to work on me. And I that because I like instant relief when I smoke. That's what I want. I don't want the gradual come up. If I'm feeling like I need to then and there, I want to feel the effects then and there. You know, if I feel like I need to smoke in an hour or so, then I might take an edible. But that, for me, just it's just not for me really. Feel that edibles are hit or miss. Yeah, I don't know anybody who can make edibles, and the only edibles in area have been eats and stuff with Family Guy characters on the bag, and it says Family High, and they claim that it's from a dispensary and shit like that. But from what I've read on Reddit, like it's not a thing. I wouldn't trust it. People have said, at you're gonna get a shit edible, and at worst, spice. Just best not to, you know, just don't buy it. And I stand by that. To be, and I stand by that. To be, constraints are good way because if it's legal, they have all the machines to make good quality up to the black market. What do you mean constraints? I don't know what that means. What do you mean, like concentrates? Am I being stupid, or are you being stupid? I don't mean that in an insulting way. I don't know what you mean. But if you are talking about concentrates, I can't get those either. But like my guys had a single concentrate. I've the only shatter, I think, and maybe some crumble about 2 years ago again that I got from a place called Green Britain. And I liked it, to be fair, but I don't know how to dab, and this may sound really stupid. My hair's all in my head. It's really doing my head, and I was supposed to get today, and it just happened. I look like I've got horns. What was I talking about? Concentrates. Dab and dab. Nobody around dabs. Like no, I was gonna say I felt like dabbing in the UK is not really a thing, but that's not true. There's plenty of people over here that dab, and I see it all the time on like Instagram and shit. But I don't know anybody face to face who dabs, and I don't know where to get concentrates. So it's not really a thing over for me. Come here, buddy. Hey, fly. Hey, he's big mad because he wants his dinner, but he's been poorly the past couple of days. Like he's been throwing up and stuff. So he's just had a little bit of white rice, plain white rice with a little bit of plain chicken. And I've been limiting his food so that he doesn't throw up again. And he keeps up to me and like, growling at me. He wants his dinner, but he can't eat his dinner because I want to throw up. I want his stomach upset. He wants to eat. If I put his dinner down, he would eat, but he would also throw it all back up. So I just need to give him little bits of white rice and little bits of just plain chicken. And he hates me right now, bro. He fucking hates me for it. But it's for in the long he will feel and then eat his actual really enjoy it. But like for now, I'm a super bad guy. I'm the worst owner in the world, and he fucking hates me right now. But this Black Heart is good. I like it. And I keep saying, actually, I keep saying just to myself probably because I haven't made any videos on this. Yo, Alex, what up? I was just talking about the beer tonight. It is Black Heart Draft Stout from BrewDog. I've had this before and I do like it, but I forgot what I was saying now. Bro, I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, my dog's crying at nothing all the time. Poor puppy. Yeah, poor puppy. Like, I feel really bad. I know it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Yes, I know. I know you're hungry. I'll feed you. I'm gonna feed you very soon. You literally had some rice not too long ago. You've just been a fat bastard now. um, yeah, he's okay. Like, there's nothing actually wrong with him. He's not sick. He doesn't have any diseases. He's fine in himself. He wants to eat, which is a big factor in knowing that he's okay. Because if he was off his food and throwing up, then that'd be a problem. But he's he's not off his food. He wants to eat, but I have to restrict it. Otherwise, it's going to make him sick again. So I just need to build him back up to where he can eat his normal dinner. But that means feeding him very little and every few hours. He doesn't understand. He's just really mad. He wants to get his dinner in a big bowl and he wants to scoff it all down. But I don't want to clean up his sick out the carpet, so I'm not going to do that. He's so mad at me right now. And I feel like such a bad person for it, but I know that I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to get to rolling up a second joint, I think, whilst we enjoy that because it's a stout. And personally, I can't down stouts, which I don't think you should down stouts. They're not made to be downed. I don't think any beer is made to be downed, but like specifically not thick, black, heavy beer. So I'm going to roll up another joint and we're going to continue sipping on the stout. I very much would like to down it, and I'm stopping myself from sipping it a lot because I know if I down it, I probably will throw up. This is, believe me, I've done that before. Just on a 4-pack, so not anything crazy. It is only 4.1%. I drank a 4-pack, but I think I was enjoying it and I was playing a game and I was just throwing it back. And then a few hours later, it made a reappearance. I don't want that to happen tonight. It's taking it a little bit steak. Eating some soup to the stream. You're eating the stream. That's a new one. Is it where you are? Don't mind me. Again, I was saying earlier, found out that Dawson is also from the States. I was asking him where he was from, and I said that there was another person who comes in the stream who is also from the States. I couldn't remember where. I don't know. I ask you every time. I'm not going to ask you to tell me again because I'm sure you get annoyed with me. But I said that you were from the, and we were about legal bud and black bud in the States where there are. I know you are in a state, so what is your opinion on getting black market bud, if you don't mind me asking? Like, I don't know if it's still a thing. I assume that it's probably a thing everywhere, but again, I don't know how it works in the States. If you have dispensaries and recreational, do you really need the plug? Just a question that I have. But I'm going to get to breaking down some of this Stardog. This might be, and you can tell me if it is. I don't mind you saying. I am breaking down the grape rips to remember what it was then. My brain said purple swisher, but I was like, I've never had a purple swisher. Why would I be breaking that down, bro? No. I'm breaking down the grape rips hemp wrap from earlier, grinding it up because obviously we use chunky bud for blunts. Because waste not, want not might taste, oh, my phone that I just dropped. Might taste a little funky, but it'll do. And we're putting it in the joint. the hemp wraps, bro. I've got a couple more. Not to put a spoiler in there, but a couple more hemp wraps to review from the Stoner Advent Calendar. And I I don't like hemp wraps. I'm not grateful, but I don't like hemp. I'm not looking forward to doing reviews. I'm not sure how many more there review, but I know there's one more to review, and I'm not looking forward to doing that. Alex says, nah, it's still a thing. I just don't personally know anymore. Don't know anyone anymore. The only reason I'd consider buying black market is the price. Medical does have some decent deals, but it literally takes all my money. Yeah, I understand that, bro. I reckon, well, I suppose I can speak from experience. When I had my prescription, I had a pretty good, like, I wasn't balling or anything like that, but for me, it's a pretty good paying job considering that, like, for most life, I'd not had much. I was getting paid a little bit more than I was used to, so I could afford to buy my medical bud. And then I quit that job because it was making me want to kill myself. Like, not even no word of a lie. Like, it was a bad job for me and it wasn't working for me. So I quit that. And then, like, it wasn't because I afford it that I'm having it. It was mainly due to the quality, but also the price was racking up as well. Like, if I wanted, well, it's not even. I do want to go to medical, but from what the still not patient care is not there at all. The professionalism is not there, and also like from what I've seen, a lot of people are paying for the medication, and it's still not being sent out 3 weeks later. And if I had to go 3 weeks without medication, then like I wouldn't want to do that, bro. I had to pay for my medication, wasn't being sent, and had to go out and do some black market bud because legal medication hadn't been sent to me. What's the point of my legal medication? And that's the state that people are in right now. So, like, what's the point in doing that? I may as well just go straight to the black market, buy what I know is good, even if it's not actually what it says it is. I don't have any reason to believe it's not what it says it is because every strain that I've tried off of my guy is different. Like it looks different, it smells different, it tastes different. It's obviously a different strain, but whether it is the actual strain that he says it is, I don't know because it's not from a dispensary and there's no official testing going on. So it could literally be anything. And that is really the only reason why I want to get actual legalization so that I know what the person says I'm smoking is actually what I'm smoking. If that makes sense to anybody. Another pro for black market is you can buy as much as you want. A lot of dispensaries make it hard to stock up. Yeah, there's that as well. Like, price wise for me, I only usually get 1 ounce a month. If I'm like looking to go all out, I'll probably get like 2 ounces. But for me, it's usually 1 ounce. So if that 1 ounce was probably double the price, or maybe not double the price, but like the same and a half for that in the dispensary, that's going to take more of my money. But I would still prefer to pay the higher price for the dispensary bud just to know that what I'm smoking is good quality and what it says it is. That's all I really care about, is like what I know, what I'm smoking. I want it to be what it says on the tin because there's really no proof of what it is right now. I don't smoke much. My medical allows 2 ounces every 2 weeks. Never usually use all that because it's so expensive. Always worry about people cutting weed with other drugs. Do you mean on the black market? Obviously not in the dispensaries. That's not something that you should have to worry about in a dispensary. But I don't know about in the US, but that's, for me, that's not something that I'm really worried about. I'm not worried about somebody putting something else in my bud. It's not really something. Well, it's something that I've definitely thought about, but it's not something that I think I have to worry about right now. I think I'm pretty lucky with the plug that I've got. But 2 ounces, 2 weeks, that's like an ounce a week. I get 1 ounce to last me about a month. It usually lasts like probably 3 weeks, and then the week I'm serving. I don't know if you heard. The last week, I'm down to my scrapings probably. So I'm about an ounce a month. If I had access and money to more than that, yeah, fuck yeah, I would smoke more than that. But I don't need to, and I also don't have the money to, so I don't. Ugh. Gassy though. I roll up this joint now though. Joint is just a start up. What the fuck? Oh, okay. I thought there was something in my bud then. It wasn't. It was just what was in my grinder. But we are getting the second joint rolled up until we finish the rest of the beer. Again, I said earlier, I can't. Well, I could very easily this car just come straight back up very easily, and it always makes me want another one. It's not one of those beers that you just have one and done with. But I do only have one of it, but I wish I had more. Oh, this is a terrible roll. Weed cut with meth. Bro, I've never heard of that before. I'm not saying it's not a thing where you are, but personally, thankfully, I've never heard that before. Hell, that's unfortunate. The plugs here dashing down 3 5s in the bush of meth. Nobody's hiding meth in the bushes. Nobody's hiding weed in the bushes where I am. There is too many certified crackheads around here to hide some weed in a bush. It would get found instantly. That bush is probably somebody's house. What did I do with the King Palm? I don't know where that is. Oh, it's on the floor. But I'm using the Blazy Susan stuffer. Right, joint number 2 is rolled. Eileen Ebony. That is a new name. Hello, welcome. Got Walker weed. Back in the day, if you find that at some point, definitely did a Skywalker strain review. I'm not sure where I got the Skywalker from. Can't remember, but I definitely reviewed it because I remember. I can see the thumbnail in my house after this. Right, so we have the second joint rolled up. This one is significant. I thought when I got the initial tuck that it was going to be really crumpled down the roach, but looking very nice, and it actually feels very nice up the top as well. One of the better ones. Cheers. It's like a birthday candle. It sucks. I'm in a small country, so it's a lot of drugs. Yeah, I mean, Same. I don't live in the country, but it's a pretty small town. A lot of drug addicts. New here, got it on Little Biggie. Little Biggie, I don't know what that is. Elaborate, please, maybe. I don't know what that means, Little Biggie. I know that I overspark my joints every single time. Like every time that I make my videos, it's at least a few seconds cut out of sparking the joint. And then when I come on lives and I spark them, I think all the time, why are you doing this for that long? But I just like to make sure that I've got the most even burn possible before I take the first toke, because it only takes that one toke to make it run, and then the whole joint to fix it, and then it's fucked. So if you just take a little bit of extra time, make sure that it's nice and sparked evenly, and then it should burn perfectly. He says, that'll fix itself. That'll fix itself, believe me. Have faith. Ye of little faith. He just chatted like 30 seconds of shit and then the joint was shit. It won't be. It will correct itself. Et voila. A perfectly sparked joint. It's a website that sells weed. We don't sell weed over here. Keep that maybe to yourself. Need a new scale so I can measure out. So I stole kitchen scale I found laying in a box. In a box where, bro? Where did you steal this kitchen scale from? I need more details on this, because if you just stole a random kitchen scale from a box, was this box in a shop? Because you can't do that. You can't take things out of boxes in shops. That is theft and it's illegal. You can't do that, bro. It's not something that you're allowed to do. Was the box on the side of the road? Was it big and yellow? Because that's called a skip. You're not allowed to steal out of skips either. That is illegal. You can't do that. If the box was in a wooded area, just on the floor somewhere in the dirt, clean that shit. I live in the country. I don't know anyone who sells. Which country? Yeah, which country? Because if it's an illegal country, don't be talking about that shit. I don't want you to get caught. You don't have to say sorry. It's more for you than it is for me. Which country? Like, tell me which country you're living in. Alex needs to roll again. Rolling skills suck. Do it, bro. I feel like once you can roll, you never really forget how to roll. It might be a little bit shitter, and then it might get a little bit better depending on how you do. But so long as you can roll a joint and that joint smokes, then you're fine. Like, you'll never be alone again if you can roll a joint. The scale was laying around at my work, so I feel like I earned it. Nobody would notice. It's never been used. Bro. Man's just took the work scales. Wait, did you say what kitchen scales? Yeah, so like what is the increments on the kitchen scales? Is it grams and ounces? Because that's really all you need. You would preferably want it to go down to the points, but if you've got grams and ounces, then that's fine. I have a kitchen scale that did just grams and ounces for a while, So I was putting my shit on the kitchen scale and it didn't say points. So I could have been like, I don't know. I feel like I was done out of a couple of grams a couple of times in the early days until I got my actual scales. But nowadays I'm fine. Usually it's a little bit over, if anything. But back in the day, I think I got done out of a couple of grams and my kitchen scales didn't tell me any otherwise. From Scotland. Bro, I'm sure there's plenty of good weed in Scotland. Like, I'm almost certain there's good weed in Scotland. You can find some good weed in Scotland, I know. But, like, to be fair, I'm not endorsing it. If you found a legitimate website, then good for you. Good for you. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying, do what you need to do, but don't do anything illegal. Grams, ounces, and the points, so it's easy win. Yeah, if it's got all three, then go for it, bro. Like, yeah, why not? Free scale, don't complain. The scale that I've got three actually at the minute, if you want to count the kitchen scales that we use for baking and cooking and shit. I've got those little black scales that everybody gets off of Amazon, proper little dealer scales. um, and then I've got a rolling tray, which I will be reviewing at some point over the advent calendar. I'm not going to tell you when, with a built-in scale that I've been using, but it's a bit dodgy. I won't lie, it's a little bit dodgy. Pardon me. The scale on the rolling tray is a little bit fucked, so I don't really use that very often, or at least like take it with a pinch of salt if I am going to use it. And then there's the kitchen scales, which is just grams and ounces and not points, which are not the most accurate, but they're not the worst either. Alex would like to see Scotland one day. Do you know what? I would also like to see Scotland one day. It looks really, really beautiful. Like, it looks great. I also would like to see the Loch Ness Monster. If she's real. We don't know if she's real or not. Like, I would like to think that she is real. I want to think that all the cryptids are real. Wow, that was a full-on slur there. Cryptids is what I meant to say. They came out more like cryptids. I like to think the cryptids are real. Nessie, she's real. Bigfoot is real. Mothman is out there somewhere, flying into a lamp. What else do we have? Drop some more cryptids in chat. I can't think of any right now. UK in general, like, you gotta be more specific, bro, because if you say UK in general and you come to where I live, you don't want to see some crackhead against the door spiced out. You don't want to see some crackhead walk past him, you can smell it. There's a dude in the town centre where I live who has the name, I'm pretty sure he goes by Stinky Leg, because his leg stinks. Because he won't go to hospital to get treatment because he would rather be on the street so that he can drink alcohol. You need to be more specific. You say where in the UK you want to visit because it's not my dude. Don't. My joint went out. Go like London, go London and visit like the main attractions, the London Eye and the Tower of London. London, like, London's not the place for me. I've been to London a couple of times. It's too busy. It's too touristy. There's too much going on. It's not for me. Side of London is not too bad, but central London gives me too much anxiety. just makes the fucking scream. I don't like it. He doesn't go by stink legs, just known as Stinky. That's not his. It's not the name on his birth certificate. He doesn't walk around when people go, "Hey, stinky leg." I just mean stinky leg. We have an array of crackheads over here. A vast array of crackheads. He is just but one of the crackheads that we have around here. Gonna visit and have a session, go home. We'll take you round to see the crackheads. We'll take you to see the sights. Eileen Ebony got arrested in London for smoking in the park. You got arrested in London for smoking in a park? That seems like I'm not disbelieving you, but that just makes such a shit arrest. The last time that we were in London, now correct me if I'm wrong because I know you're in chat. The last time we were in London, we were within walking distance of, was it King's Cross or St Pancras? And we walked over to a park where people were already smoking. We smoked a joint, walked back over to which it was King's Cross or St Pancras. Really shit. You must have got some dickhead cop to get you arrested for that. Like, bro, that's so bad. In Regent's Park, I'm not sure where that is, to be honest with you. I don't know where that is, but I'm pretty sure. It just anywhere in London, like obviously there's places that you shouldn't smoke. Like you shouldn't smoke anywhere because you're not supposed to. But like most places are just chill. It's so shit that you got arrested. What else were you doing? Were you just stood there smoking a joint? Were you being antagonizing or anything like that? I'm not saying that you were. I was just thinking it's so shit. Like a cop would walk up and be like, "Oh, joint would be." That's something that worries me. I won't lie. Like I don't like sparking up just anywhere. I will go out of my way to be out of the way of anywhere before I spark my joint, unless I know that I'm perfectly safe. I will, even if like I could get away with it, I still prefer to walk 15, 20 minutes away from where I could be before I spark up. Just out of my own paranoia, if nothing else. End of Baker Street, poshish. I don't know London, so I honestly couldn't. I don't know where that is, but it's just anywhere in London. It's just shit. Sitting on the grass, smoking, police van patrolling. You must have just got a shit cop. Like that just sounds so shit. Either I've been really lucky, or you just got a shit cop, and I think that you just got a shit cop because from what I've seen and what I've heard, most people just don't care anymore. It just must be that one dickhead, and you got that one dickhead. Unfortunately, sucks to suck. I'm sorry. I'm not taking the piss. Like it does suck. What happened? Like, did you actually get arrested, or did they just tell you to put it out? Did you get taken away? Did you get fined? Just interested, really, because I don't want to do that in the future. If I can learn from your mistake, I will. Guarantee in a half-hour walk in town centre, you'll see someone spiced out, someone run out of shop with a bunch of chocolate, and some crackheads arguing. Yeah. And also, don't forget somebody either walking with a can of Polish lager, not to get like nothing against the Polish, but crackheads are not Polish. They're full Polish. It's probably or the cheapest of the, and that tends to be the Polish lager. I'm not saying the lager's bad. I've never tried it. It's just cheap, and that's what they've got. Plus, we have an international supermarket. I'm not sure what it is like. Nationality it is like, but you can go in there and you can really, really cheap. And like I said and stuff, it's either I think it's Romania with you, but I don't know. But it's really cheap. It's like £1. I think it might even be like 89p a can or something. But you've got to buy 4 of them. They're not allowed to sell them in singles because they're too cheap. But they're very, very cheap. And you see people walking around with them, crackheads drinking them. I might have to do a review, to be honest with you. Good. It might be good. It might be really cheap, really good. You don't know these things. Eastern European. Okay. Apparently, it's Eastern European. Took me to Malborn police station, didn't strip search me, cautioned me, never showed up on enhanced disclosure though. I don't know the names of the places telling me. I don't know if they're like places in London because I don't go into very often. But I think as a general, you spark up at attractions and in heavily populated places. Even if you think you're safe, it's best to walk 10, 15 minutes, like even 5 minutes out of your way where you think that you might be able to smoke. Don't spark up in the middle of the street. Try and find a park or like just somewhere. Don't go somewhere like down a back alley that just looks worse. Like find a public park, like find a bush to sit next. Just in the middle of the street or anything like that. I'm not saying you did, but just as a general rule, that's what I do. I am overly cautious with it. I know I am, but like I would rather be safe than sorry. I've never been arrested, and I don't plan on getting arrested because I'm following my own rule and carry on going out of the way where I need to be as much as I can. So, just I don't know, as I say, not as I do, and don't about it. You heard on the news somebody was smoking a inside French centre. Somebody was smoking a joint inside the shopping centre. That's like, at that point, you're just asking to be arrested. Really, like, don't. That's just plain stupid. That reminds me of the time that I pull out and give her infant child because it was round. She wanted it to sit down. She said, "Come here," and she pulled out a vape and she gave it to him. Now I'm talking like he did look like an actual child, like no older than, I don't fucking know, like year 3. I don't know the age of child, but he was a very obviously an underage child that she just vape, told him to sit down. He did, and not only did she do this, give her underage vape, but it was in like a full shopping center in a building. Like you're smoking inside, and you're underage, and you've also given it to a child. Like that's 3 laws, I'm pretty sure, in one there, and nobody gave a shit. Nobody gave a shit. It's crazy. I did just nearly burn there. If anybody was wondering, I'm not by accident. So this is the end of the second joint. We have the end of the beer. We're going to finish them both, and then we're going to end the stream. Just one thing. Go. Out. Black Heart. It's good. Like, it's very good. And I know for a that there is an out coming up. The grind. and that one very, very bad, very shit. This is a good one. Not that BrewDog's ever going to see this, but more of this. This is good. Grind is bad, very bad. Right, so end of joint, end of beer, end of stream. That was more than. I thought that was going to be a small. It was more than a sip. Note. Right. Okay. Points out. I even finish it. Today has been very fun. We went a little bit longer than I expected to. Come back tomorrow for day. What day are we on? Day 6. No idea what it's going to be, honestly, but it's going to be fun. Make sure you're here. Peace.